Welcome back to the 10th episode of the Wrinkly podcast. This is a podcast about Magic the Gathering with the goof, gaff, talk about the Commander format. I am one of your hosts, Ethan, and today I am joined by my lovely co-hosts, Cameron and Jason. Cameron, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, welcome back. Glad to be here.
And Jason, please grace us with your lovely voice.
Why, hello. Should I do the ASMR voice?
Please no.
Good. No ASMR today.
Thank the Lord.
Yeah, instead of ASMR, you get our lovely 10th episode of the podcast, and we promised you a guest. Unfortunately, our guest is unavailable. We're actually recording this episode a week later than normally, and our planned guest was Sheldon Menery, founder of the Commander Formats Rules Committee. And at the time of recording last week, about a week ago for us, and it'll be about 17 days ago for you guys when this goes live, Sheldon had a serious medical emergency and was in the hospital. He wasn't able to come onto the podcast, and honestly, that's the least of his concerns. He legitimately almost died, and we're just happy that he's still kicking. So hopefully we'll find another time for him to come onto the podcast in like a couple months or something like that. We just wanted to apologize to you all because we did hype up this saying we had a surprise guest, and unfortunately that fell through due to unforeseen circumstances. We're really sorry about that.
Yeah, get well soon, Sheldon. But so we do have Ethan back this week. Him and his lovely, well, you don't see his face. You get his voice. But we decided to return to our regularly scheduled program of dunking on ourselves because we are great Magic players, right, guys?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I haven't played the game in 3 months. I'm such a great Magic player.
We're not stinky at the game. We're good. But we're gonna dunk on ourselves by talking about cards that we evaluated in the past and some of the ones that have coming out with new Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate or Commander Legends 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Ooh. And quick aside, apologies for my absence. Life has been crazy and needed a break from Magic in general to make sure I did not go absolutely insane. But I'm getting back into it, hanging with the boys trademark, and I'm so pumped. But spoiler season this season, did not really pay attention a whole lot to, and so I'm going to be reading this cards with them. And
you're getting live reactions.
I'm getting my live reactions. I know like Displacer Cat and like 2 other cards. That's about all I really know. Okay, Kitten Cat, sue me. Anyway,
yes.
But we'll get into the spoilers near the end of the episode. Well, that's topic number 2. Topic number 1. We want to talk about the trials and tribulations of evaluating magical cardboard, because it is much harder than you think it is from experience. I suck at it.
Same.
It's not easy, but here's what we're going to do for you. The first step of evaluating magical cardboard is don't.
Okay, great episode, guys. Cool.
Good. Yeah. Signing off.
We're not going to give you any tips and tricks on how to evaluate cards, especially for different formats. Instead, we're here to dunk on ourselves for poorly evaluating cards and dunk on our friends because I was right and y'all fucking suck.
We all have a couple that we were.
Yeah. Cameron's going to grill me later. Cameron's going to grill me later.
I'm going to grill everyone. Everyone.
Absolutely. He wins this episode, I'll tell you now. So, we're part of Smooth Brain EDH. We're talking about EDH as our primary format. Unfortunately, a lot of this is going to be from the perspective of 60 card constructed. A lot of this is because we are legacy players at heart. It is our preferred format whenever we play constructed Magic, and it's much easier to talk about these cards in the perspective of how impactful they were in tournament Magic. You know, if a card's banned because of how good it was, or had other cards banned to deal with it, that's a pretty good telling of how good the card is.
It's objectively good.
Yeah.
But a lot of those values still carry over to Commander as well. Like,
absolutely,
we'll see some of these cards we're going to mention are actively stupid in Commander as well.
With that, let's get on to the list, and let's start off with a banger. One of the big ones. Arclight Phoenix.
Woo! My baby.
Alright. Cameron and I both put this on the list.
I
don't know where Cameron was at.
That's what I was going to say.
I might be higher than you guys. I was like, this card's good.
I was low on this card.
You were. And I was like, bro, it's free. It's free.
Okay. Here's where I was at. Trash dollar rare.
Y'all be tripping. Y'all were tripping, dude.
Nah, I remember seeing it be like $1. Like I played it wasn't Dominaria, was it?
It was Guilds of Ravnica.
I remember being at pre-release for that and people literally trading them for less than $1.
Yep.
It was,
y'all were stupid. I still
agreed.
waited on picking them up. I knew they'd be good. I didn't expect them to be modern defining good. And so when they started spiking in price, I don't remember the first tournament that like was the big impact for it. But I remember it was like close to my birthday, so my girlfriend at the time bought me a playset. It was like $60, and it went up to like $25 a pop. So we still got a good deal on them. But I should have bought them when they were $1 because I knew they'd be good. I just didn't know they'd be that good.
Yeah.
And
okay,
I played those cards so much. I missed that deck.
Okay, so while I'm over here with my head in shame for my evaluation of it, let me just explain why I didn't think this was good. All right. I, like many other people in the comment section, when this thing was spoiled on Reddit, for a lot of these cards, I went back and looked at the Reddit threads to see where people were at on this. And of course, you're going to see that huge split between this is great and this is terrible, as you always do. But a lot of people shared the sentiment I had, which was, this is a 4-mana 3/2 with haste. It has some recursion. It's really only good when you have a Faithless Looting available to you. It's not that good otherwise. Turns out that's not true.
You want to know how I learned the card was good? For some godforsaken reason, I wanted to play Modern Abzan in the year 2018, and the deck had not been good since about 2015. Let's be real.
Correct.
Lingering Souls was on its way out in 2019. Ethan and I were at his apartment, and I had Modern Abzan proxied up. We played probably about 12 games. I lost all of them. I lost every single game.
I felt like an asshole.
Then I had Bant Spirits, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah. So I think that the main thing that a lot of people forgot, that me being resident Izzet player, because I played Storm at the time, so like it was a very easy transition for me to get to Phoenix, because I had the mana base practically except for fetches, and I was used to casting instant sorceries. You use the instant sorceries to find more instant sorceries. It just works. And when you think about Manamorphose and like Gut Shot and other free spells, like it was not hard to cast 3 spells in a turn. And generally,
Lava Dart.
Yeah, just also Lightning Bolt. You get to play Lightning Bolt, so you were already like at an advantage in Modern at the time. So if you had Lightning Bolt, it just works.
Hot take: Thing in the Eyes was the best card in that deck,
dude.
A lot of people who played the deck still agree.
Yeah, I don't know how hot it is.
Not really a hot take. You want a hot take? And this is personal bias speaking. Pyromancer's Ascension was the best card in the deck.
That's just your favorite card, Ethan.
Oh, it's my one pet cards. I fully acknowledge that. I've got 5 copies of Dragon's Approach sitting on my desk waiting to find like 35 more so I can play Pyromancer's Ascension in Commander. But that card, you played it and then you just got there.
Speaking of the Pyromancer's Ascension and its lines that were involved, I often felt that, of course, Faithless Looting is one of the best cards. That's the card that got banned out of the deck, and what did end up...
That was Hogak that did that, not Phoenix.
I think Phoenix was balanced. No. I think Phoenix was completely fair. Out of everything going on in Modern, a bunch of 3/2 flyers is not breaking the format.
The deck was fair. I think
the deck was very fair.
I don't want to comment too much on it because like this has a splinter. This has a splitter twin issue with it, and we can go into detail on that at another time. But the thing I did want to say is the other card that I think is the actual better card in Arclight Phoenix is Manamorphose.
Oh yeah, no. If they wanted to hit Phoenix and keep the deck around, they would have hit Morphose because Morphose was actually dumb. Free spell that drew you a card. Like it costs actual mana compared to, Gitaxian Probe, but it was practically Gitaxian Probe in that deck to me.
Moving on to the next one. Cameron, tell us about Wrenn and 6.
I got this one a little wrong. I thought it was good. I did. I didn't think it was going to be as good as, like in one Band and Legacy, which thank God it's gone. I don't think anybody is sad to see Wrenn and 6 go, other than...
No.
Well, Seth might.
Thank God.
Seth was.
Well, Seth can get over it. Okay, my life was ruined by this stupid 2-mana Planeswalker.
I
played Cloud Post in Legacy.
Yeah. You
okay.
did.
You need your lands.
I deserve financial compensation from Wizards for the pain I went through.
How much for each time you were wasteland locked?
Oh, at least $100. I'd be a millionaire.
So Rin 6 upticks to ping something for 1. No, downticks for 1. Yeah. Yeah, upticks gets a land from the graveyard, downticks to ping something for 1, and the ultimate is generally irrelevant. If you get to it, you've already won the game. It does a multitude of things. It invalidates big mana decks in Legacy specifically. So like Post is the big mana deck in Legacy. Invalidates that. D&T, Maverick, anything with X1s, and that's a really big thing in Legacy with like Thalia, Guardian of Thraben being probably the biggest example. But Rin 6 just said, nah, your Thalias are gone. You're as a Maverick deck, I got Wasteland locked, which that's what I'm supposed to do. That's my job. It's not that I thought the card was going to be bad. I knew it would be good. I just did not think it would warp. My big example is it made Delver. It saw Delver play, a Planeswalker in Rug Delver. We'll get some more Planeswalkers in Rug Delver later.
Yes, we will.
Oh my god.
Speaking of the nightmare of Delver in general, here's the one, like, there's actually a couple of cards on this list where I'm like, fuck you, I got it right. The big one, the big recent one, this is the biggest one by far, is Murktide Regent. Fuck y'all, I got the receipts on this one. I went into our Legacy Discord, and I actually found the comments that we made talking about this. Generally, we had to like, oh yeah, that seems pretty good. But we had a couple people who were just like, no, this isn't good. You're not going to play this. This is too much mana. It's just a big Tombstalker. Or, well, if I'm playing a blue-red control or blue-red Delver style list, I would much rather have Ethereal Forager so that I could keep rebuying my instants and sorceries.
Freaking Ethereal Forager.
The whale wasn't good.
The whale.
The whale was good.
It was fine. I was low on the whale.
Tombstalker that pitches to Force of Will and gets bigger when you play the second one is significantly better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the card is busted. Is that too much of a stretch to say busted?
I mean, it's the card that a lot of people are talking about as needing a ban in Legacy, so...
Band-Aids.
And yes, I'm on that train too. Band-Aids. I want to resolve my challenges.
Now that I had my fun on that, let's get one where I was wrong. Fucking Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath.
Wait, you were low on Uro?
I was low on Uro.
How the fuck were you low on Uro?
I wasn't low on Uro.
This was an easy slam dunk for anyone. Oh my god, Jason.
Okay. In my defense, I acknowledged it was good from the beginning. I didn't think it was format warping, which it was.
Yeah.
And my opinion of it as, this card is fucking boring. It's good. It's just boring and I hate it.
Oh, it's still boring.
I hate it. I hate the card.
And I still hate casting it the first time. I'm still of the opinion that in both cases of the Titans, that I do not like casting them the first time. It's getting them from the graveyard when I'm happy. Uro, I'm a little more willing to cast the first time. Kroxa, as much as I love Kroxa.
It's a cool card.
By comparison. It's a way more interesting and dynamic card. It's not just generic value on a stick. It's murder you on a stick. It's more fun.
Oh, yeah. One thing I will say about Uro, though, is... I'm going to say this in a really dumb way. Repeatable Healing Salve is actually pretty important in a constructive format. Right?
Yes.
Like,
people sleep on
gaining
the
3
life
life
gain.
consistently. People do. Like, to bring this back to Commander a little bit, I really learned to appreciate life gain a lot more. Like, life is a resource, but when you're playing things like... When you're playing against Mogus every week, having a little bit of life gain really helps you not die quick. So I really come to appreciate life gain in Commander, especially in constructive formats. Like, I played Ancient Tomb decks a lot in Legacy, and so if I ever got to gain life in any capacity in Post with like Glimmer Post, I was always feeling like a fucking king.
Those double Ancient Tomb starts.
Oh, they're so good, but so daunting, man.
I'll be at 14 on turn 2.
Oh yeah, but it's worth it for that turn 1 Chalice, turn 2 Thought Knot Seer. Come on, like.
I have opinions on Uro. I thought it was very good the first time I saw it. I didn't think it would be good enough to eat bans in, let's see, what's it banned in? Modern? Pioneer?
It was banned as standard, right?
Standard?
It was banned as standard. I think it was banned as standard at the time.
That's my big thing with it. I agree with Jason. It's just so boring. Like, do something interesting. I mean, it's good. It's explore for 1 more mana and you get the 3 life. And as Ethan said, life gain is very... It's funny because it kind of is a bell curve. Like, your length of playing Magic is you start off loving life gain, and then, like, as the more you play, the more you hate it. And then you come back down once you played for a while, and you're like, it's actually, like, useful.
Yeah. When you play against enough burn, like, you realize, wait, if I'm not at 20, and I can get up higher than 20, that makes their strategy a lot worse. And burn's always pretty popular in their modern meta, from my recollection. I'm not sure anymore.
I would rather
just from what I could
try to kill myself as fast as possible.
GDS player.
And play a 1 mana. Oh, Jason, you're next. Again.
Yeah, Jason, what you got for us now?
Okay, another one here. Gaia's Will. Hate this card. I still hate this card. But
the suspend cards in general, if you're not cheating them, they're just...
Yeah, suspend cards really need to be cheated in play. Gaia's Will is one that I did not like. I thought it was going to be great. Like, I thought this was going to be a card that you'd see in Stormless or doing something stupid.
They also just have the problem of, if you play them fairly, everybody knows that, hey, in 2 turns, this guy's going to go off. This girl's going to go off.
4 turns, isn't it? How long is it? I think 4. Yep.
4 on Gaia's Will. But my thing on it was, I was viewing it as a Past in Flames that you just put into your graveyard and cast it off of a Finale of Promise.
Yeah, okay. You can. As I see your comment, you can still do some fun Yidris stuff with this. Like, I still think this could be good in a Yidris deck.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. A lot of the suspend cards have homes. Like, take Profane Tutor. It has one deck it's great in, and that's Cody, and it's amazing in that deck. Outside of that, like, I don't think Profane Tutor sees any play. And, like, I know this is CDH we're talking. Is there a second deck?
There are 2 modern decks that play it.
Profane Tutor?
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Adnaz, right? Adnaz plays it?
Yeah, Adnaz / Thoracle.
They've always kind of been like...
Esper combo shenanigans.
Yeah. It's the Inverter of Truth Thoracle deck / the Ad Nauseam deck. Many times they are the same deck. The other deck that's really interesting, I don't know if you guys have seen it, is the Mono Black Cabal Coffers deck.
That's hot.
Wait, that's a thing?
Yes.
I don't know. But
very much a thing.
Is it Mono Black Devotion? Or is it a combo deck?
No, it is a Cabal Coffers deck. It is not a Devotion deck. It was originally done with Invoke Despair out of the Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. That was the initial attempt to push the card, and it just found, the Mono Black Shell is pretty good, and you can just literally top in Archons of Cruelty, and it's great.
Wait, so people were playing Invoke Despair unironically in Modern at one point?
Yeah. You still see the Mono Black deck occasionally, but it was more so on the bend when Aspiring Spike was playing it nonstop.
That's fun.
What the hell happened to Magic in 2022? I know I've been kind of gone a little bit, but like, what?
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
I don't know if I want to be back. God.
This is news to me as well, Ethan. I have not kept up with the constructed formats nearly as much.
At least you kept up with Magic in general, man.
I'm astonished, you guys here, the resident Commander players, not knowing about the Commander deck you get to play in Modern. Come on. That's
so...
I have been, like, away from Magic. When I say I haven't thought about Magic, I've been away from Magic.
Hold on, I still talk. I can still talk, but I'm going to Goldfish to see if it exists.
To see if the Mono Black Devotion deck exists?
Mono Black Coffers. It is 0.6 of the meta. 3 Golos. It has 3 Golos.
Oh, wait. No fucking way. No. Back up. Where? I need to see this.
It plays Grizzlebrand. Archon. This deck's hot.
Okay, wait. Let me find Mono Black Oh my god.
Did you find it?
It plays the Invoke Despair? Oh my god, you weren't lying. What?
This deck's hot.
And it plays the card? Why am I finding out about this deck now, Jason?
I'm sorry, I didn't realize I would give you some kind of awakening.
it plays March of Wretched Sorrow? What?
Oh, some of them do.
What? It's a modern deck actually playing Damnation.
Mm-hmm.
This is a joke, right? People
Is
actually
this
play
year
Damnation in
2015?
Modern?
Jund playing Damnation.
Like,
This is a real deck.
This is sweet. This is really sweet.
I don't...
The Karn board.
Bolas
Bolas Citadel in the Karn board. In the Karn board.
Wait,
If
they
Ethan
stole
plays
my tech. They stole my one goes to the sideboard tech. I've been doing that shit since 2019.
You have.
Steal
I can confirm.
They stole my tech. Oh, I want. Oh,
Ethan, if we play Modern again, this is the deck he's probably going to play.
Oh no. Yeah, for sure.
Moving on. Now that we've
bit.
Now that I'm just like feeling weird all over looking at this. Oh, I need a shower.
Yes, now that Ethan has seen the face of God, let's move on.
So, trying to rein this a little bit in. The card
up on that.
The next card listed is mine. It is Kappa Cannoneer. I believe it's 5 and a blue improvise. And when an artifact enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on it, and it can't be blocked this turn.
Yep.
And so
It itself is an artifact as well, so
yes,
it comes in with a counter functionally.
Yep. So this card was in a pre-con, Commander pre-con. Which one?
Buckle Up, I believe, off of
Buckle Up.
Kamigawa Neon
Okay.
Dynasty.
So when I saw this card, I was like, "Oh, this is a cute little cheeky finisher," and a blue artifact deck in Commander. Like it, nobody's gonna get mad at you for playing this in a Commander deck. It's fun little casual card, perfectly fine. It turns out that there is a Legacy deck called 8-Cast, which is a mono blue artifact deck that this card is. Oh, it has like Ward 6 on it too, doesn't it? Something
Ward 4, I think.
That's still ridiculous.
For sure.
Yeah, he's playing this 8-Cast deck in Legacy, and it is literally the perfect top end for this kind of deck. You're just trying to draw. Before this, you were just playing I know you were playing the Thought Monitors, and I can't remember the other creatures you were playing.
Most of them didn't have a real win con. They just played Psy and went wide enough.
Mm-hmm.
Psy is also insane in this deck because the Thoughters pay for the improvise. But the main thing they were doing is they were just trying to do wheels-based combos with Lion's Eye Diamond.
That's
and,
right. Thank you.
Echo of Eons. The Echo of Eons builds still exist, but it's largely considered separate from the Kappa Cannoneer lists now. The Kappa Cannoneer lists are legitimately like, this build is top 3 deck in the format.
It's the third best deck in Legacy right now, according to MTG Goldfish over the last 2 weeks.
Debatably, it's the second best one because it is one of the few decks out there that legitimately does beat up on Delver real good.
Yes,
and Delver is eternal.
The Ward 4 is absurd on this card, especially in Legacy, which is defined by 1 mana interaction. You have your Swords to Plowshares. That's probably the best thing to kill this card. When your Swords to Plowshares cost 5 mana, that feels bad.
Yeah.
The only deck that consistently casts that is probably like Maverick. Maybe D&T, but they're generally...
They'll get there. It's just, you don't want to see the Kappa
soon
enough.
Soon enough? Is it going to get there soon enough?
Great question. Probably not.
May I have a small aside because I'm having a mental... I'm looking at the meta for Legacy. One, is that Miracles at second place?
Is it
Don't
Miracles?
worry about it.
I don't
It's
see
Jeskai
Miracles in this deck.
Control.
Yeah, it's Jeskai Control with Days Undoing.
Okay.
Days Undoing,
Okay.
Hullbreacher.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I forgot Hullbreacher.
Narset
exists,
as
damn
well,
it.
obviously.
Yep.
Wandering
well,
Emperor seeing Legacy play?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Hot.
Cards
I pulled one.
Bukus. Oh, cool. Second, why is Oops all spells in the meta right now?
Oh,
is
it's
that
good.
actually?
It's good. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's decent.
This is not a meme, right? This is actually like it's
that
actually
deck got actually
good
good with
deck?
the MDFC lands. Like
it got good, but it actually got like good.
the Oracle.
It's more of like a counter meta call where it's like, have Force or Die, please? Thanks. Y'all trying to go
cool.
bigger than each other? Nah, have Force or Die, thanks.
Okay, cool. Gotcha.
Anyway, but getting into the Kappa Cannoneer a bit more, I was in the camp that this card was bad. Like,
I didn't know you were at this card was bad.
this is like it's a cheeky finisher in a casual EDH deck, but it was not a
Right.
card that I would want to include in any EDH deck. Still right on that.
I still don't think it's a great EDH card. It's a legacy card.
Yes, I did not see this as being a meta-defining threat in Legacy of all places.
What's funny is you don't see much unblockable in Legacy. Like other than, is there an unblockable Infector? Or the Blighted Agent?
Yeah, there's Blighted Agent, but even
Yeah.
then, you don't see Infect very often.
You're flying. Flying is basically unblockable half the time. So
Yeah, close enough.
yeah. And let's see. Realistically, what does it come down as? A 4/4.
5/5.
So 5/5. Yeah. So a 5/5. It's reasonable to say that you're going to play 1 or 2 artifacts next turn, or you're on like a 2-turn clock probably with this thing.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Captain
And-
Cannoneer is usually a 2-turn clock.
It is 4. You have to pay 4 extra mana to target it. I wouldn't be surprised if decks are playing, like some green-based decks are playing. What's the destroy all artifacts? There's like a 3 or 4 mana sorcery that does that.
Seeds of Innocence.
Something like that. I mean,
And yes.
there's some kind of meta actually. Because even things like Rex Sage or Night of Autumn don't deal with this. You still need the extra 4 mana.
Meltdown and Seeds of Innocence have become very commonplace in the sideboards of Legacy decks right now.
Okay.
Meltdown seeing play?
Oh,
Yes.
Meltdown sees more play than Seeds of Innocence.
It's red.
No, just like guys, what have I gotten back into? This isn't the same game
Blue-red-
anymore.
Blue Red Delver is 20% of the meta.
Okay, that's to be expected, but like everything else.
Look, even by Legacy standards, it's a little high.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean fair. They,
A little.
They should do something about it, but they're not going to.
We,
Anyway,
we can go into a deep dive of the Legacy metagame some other time.
Yeah,
Let's
we
keep
need to.
getting back on this.
Now I'm doing Once Upon a Time. I did not think it was going to be as good as it was. It was funny because I was doing a little research before the podcast, and so I was looking at an SCG article, and they were talking about the top 5 overhyped cards from Throne of Eldraine. Number 1 was Once Upon a Time, because they said, yeah, it's great if you get it, turn 1 to, curve out better, but it's awful as a 1 and a green cantrip, and I think people underestimated the power of it curving on turn 1. Either to your mana dorks or you need a land. This let you, like in post, Ethan, you probably could keep like 2 landers with this.
yeah,
More consistently.
like it was the cards bukus. Like you could play that in post decks to find. Like it wasn't really popular in the post decks at the time. It's fine. It's kind of fallen out of favor for the most part. But you could play it in Stompy decks, like Eldrazi Stompy, colorless Eldrazi Stompy. Just play for Once Upon a Time, and like maybe a forest, maybe just to help potentially cast it. But like you got to keep worse hands for free because you just put this free spell in your deck. Do people forget that 0 mana is the best mana cost? Like it's free. Like it's free real estate, guys. Come on.
Yeah, when I was scrolling through our comments on it, I did find the receipts on Once Upon a Time as well. I was the one who shared it and was like, I don't think it's that good. I think
Did
it's,
I comment
was
on
like,
it? It's been like 4 years. I really don't remember.
Yeah. I was like, 0 mana, it's great when you cast it for the 0 mana. The thing I found that was really funny about it is that this is functionally the green impulse. And I thought that was really funny that there's green functionally had better cantrips than blue for what was legal in Modern. And this is also during a time when we were seeing a lot of Ancient Stirrings. So
Yes. This
Like,
card is
this was-
banned in Modern, correct?
it is banned in Modern, yeah.
Okay, and Pioneer
was-
and Standard.
It was banned in Standard. And turns out, like, it's just every deck was a Once Upon a Time deck when it was legal. Like, if you could play it, you played it. Because if you had it on turn 1, the consistency of finding your turn 1 mana dork was the big thing that pushed it over the edge. Because it either found you the land to cast your mana dork if you had it, or it had the the mana dork if you already had the land. So the consistent ability to accelerate ahead of your opponents was what pushed Once Upon a Time over the edge. And did not see that coming.
Card was good. I think that's why we can just boil it down
You
to,
have
right?
one next.
Oh, yeah. Karn the Great Creator. I believe I was always stupid high on this card. I feel like it was overall, like, pretty well respected. Like, hey, it's a good card. It's colorless. The Karn, the Sign of Urza, I was kind of high on that one as well. That one didn't really pan out super hard. This one I was like, oh my god. You can just play Microsoft Class on the sideboard and have your finisher that ends the game immediately. as a 4 in your deck, and not actually like it just. I don't think people really realize when the card got printed how impactful a tutor board is. Because a lot of people haven't really played with those, like modern grinders or standard grinders. When did they play with a tutor board in the past 10 years in any capacity, right?
This card is very unique in its effect, and also people sleep on the static ability hard. Like
the static ability is insane.
The static ability. I mean, it sees play in commander decks just so it's a one-sided null rod.
Mm-hmm.
Well, also, commander players.
Stop playing this card.
No, actually. If you want to play Karn, which I do actually recommend in a handful of decks, let me advocate for playing more fucking Grave Hate in your deck. Because if you relic your own graveyard, you put it into exile to use the Karn board.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Jason's spitting facts here.
It was relevant. Like if I had the Swords to Plowshares, one of Ethan's Worm Coil Engines or something, which he didn't tutor out most of the time against me, but he can just cast it again.
Yeah, it's insane. And then also you have to also remember, if you hate Mana Crypt, you can just kill someone's Mana Crypt with this uptick. Like, granted, if you're already turning it off, you want to let them bolt themselves potentially every upkeep. So more so like, if they have an artifact land, you want to kill that. He doesn't like Stone Rain people for 0 mana.
If you're here to crush my soul when I play Brea, go and hit my lands. It feels fucking terrible. Please don't.
Oh yeah, of course. Trust me, I've gotten got by it too, Jason. We're of similar hearts.
May I tell a story?
Yeah, go for it.
Real fast.
We on time crunch.
I locked someone under their own Karn.
You did do that.
I did that with Collector Oof. I don't remember the exact sequencing. It was Jund Modern, and I think I floated mana in response to the Karn being played, and then he had a Karn Ugin. He had Ugin, the 6 mana new Ugin the Ineffable, and he made one of the tokens. So I had a Kolaghan's Command, so I floated the mana, cast the Kolaghan's Command, destroyed the Ugin as an artifact because it was an artifact, because he had the Mycosynth lock, and then bolted the 2/2, I think, and I had a Collector Oof in play. I think that's what it was. I can't remember. I locked someone under their own Karn, and it was hilarious.
That's weird. They went for the lock when you had the oof in play.
I must have had it. Wait, no. That was it. I killed the Great Creator. Had to have been it. I killed the Great Creator.
You played your own.
I played my own Collector Oof next turn. I killed the creature and the Karn, the Great Creator. Played the Collector Oof. They can't do anything the rest of the game. I have a 2/2.
Yep, there we go.
There it was. That's the line. I remember that was a very big highlight in my Magic career.
All right. Speaking of Cameron finding the line, tell us a bit about playing with Questing Beast.
God, fuck this card, man.
Everybody knew it was a dumb big card, but no one thought it was going to see Legacy play, and Legacy play could still, to this day. The look on everyone's face when I cast a Questing Beast is hilarious, because most of the time it's a reader, and then they say, "Oh fuck."
Hey, you're talking about me. Just at me next time, buddy.
Fun fact with Questing Beast, Maze of It does nothing to it.
I learned that one the hard way.
Maze of It does absolutely nothing.
Motherfucker.
Because Maze of It says prevent all damage. You know what Questing Beast says? You can't prevent it. Mom, things die if they try to protect it with Mom. They will die because protection from is preventing damage. The only real out Ethan ever had to it was Caracas. So...
It's not a good out, guys. I want to bounce my own co-host. I'll bounce his Questing Beast.
I feel like Caracas bouncing does only so much against the deck that's known for recurring wastelands.
Yeah. Thank you, Jason, for your very astute observation. Can we move on from my pain and suffering again?
No,
let's move on to my other very astute observations. Hey guys, you familiar with Strict Proctor and Eidolon of Obstruction?
Not at all.
The ETB? Is it ETB stifling?
Yep, it's the stifles ETB abilities unless they pay 2. Yeah. And then Eidolon of Obstruction is a 2-mana first striker, which...
Loyalty abilities, right?
Yeah, loyalty abilities of planeswalkers your opponents control cost 1 more mana to activate.
White bears you thought you might see play in like D&T?
I thought these would... I legitimately thought these two would see play somewhere. They saw 0 play. Actual 0 play. Well, okay. Strict Proctor did see a little bit of weird play in Standard alongside Uro. So that you could just... Yeah, you counter the ETB ability that would make you sacrifice the Uro. You still get your card draw if you choose to not counter that one. but
That was a thing people did. Some people played Stifle in their blue-green piles.
Yeah.
I know Chandler did.
the one that I was like, I was actually pretty sure that Eidolon would see some relevant play, because when Eidolon was spoiled, we had 3-mana Planeswalkers just running rampant in Legacy. Like, everybody was a Narset, Dak, Oko, Teferi, or Liliana deck.
Oh, Teferi. Ew, I forgot about
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, and I was like,
I didn't.
screw your 3-mana answers to my creatures, especially from the D&T perspective, which this was... I can't remember if Wrenn and 6 was legal at this time, but this was also a means of being on the play to take care of a Wrenn and 6.
I hate Wrenn and 6, sorry.
Yeah. Turns out it was not the answer.
No,
a ban was.
Yes, the ban was the answer.
Thank you, Watsy. Very cool.
But another one, though, I'm going to take my second victory lap today. Thank you very much. Mystical Dispute. Fuck y'all, I got the receipts on this one, too.
People didn't think this would be good? I didn't remember.
People were saying in our Discord that nobody would play this. Like, so many times I got told, why don't you just play Pyroblast? And my response was, Pyroblast isn't blue.
I don't want to play red. If you want to be hard blue-white control, the thing is, blue-white control is also a budget you can get by with 0 or 1 Tundras. This is a really good alternative, if not better than Pyroblast.
Yeah. Mystical Dispute, when it was during the Oko days, Mystical Dispute was a very, very good card in the matchups. Like, it's a clean answer to most everything you needed to deal with. And it did do a lot in sideboards back then. It is not as popular now. It does see some play here and there. It won't be uncommon for you to see a Mystical Dispute in a sideboard, but you don't see it that often. You do see more Pyroblasts right now, a lot more Pyroblasts right now, but you do see Mystical Disputes as Pyroblasts like 4 and 5, basically.
It's still a good card. I mean, any card able to make the cut in a Legacy sideboard is still a very good card.
Yeah. My favorite part about those is the people that were the big Modern players, because I'm not a huge Modern player, but I still recognize, like, this is really good, and this was one of the cards that just defined the standard environment that it was in for the Oko mirrors, and then Modern as well for playing against Oko, Uro, and Urza.
Ew.
Like, this was the main deck counterspell to answer that nonsense.
I forgot those all existed at the same time.
Yeah, that was one deck. Yeah, that was a gross deck.
That's an understatement.
I would say there's probably 3 big cards. We haven't gotten to the third one. We're going to talk about the second one that was a really big, oh god, we should have called this. Companion. Just Companion in general. The big ones that we want to talk about are Lurrus and Zirda.
We can also mention Yorion if you want to, because that's been the big... Yorion's been the big discussion point as of late. I checked Twitter today for the first time in a while, and I saw a thread on Yorion, so... I know, right?
I don't get on either
discussion
Twitter.
right now.
Yeah, I know Vince Kenobi had a thread on it, I think, too, or had at least commented on a big thread that was about it.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, fuck Companion, man.
Keep Commander and Commander.
Yeah, well, I mean that. But, oh, man. I knew to speak personally on Zirda, I knew Zirda would be busted. I was brewing Basalt Monolith combos, Grid Monolith combos as soon as Zirda got printed.
Is it
and
banned?
I never got the chance to actually play it.
Is it banned?
Yeah, Zirda.
Yeah, Zirda's banned.
When did it
Zirda
get a
got
ban?
banned.
It ate the same ban as Lurrus did.
Is it Modern and Legacy for both?
No, just Legacy.
Okay.
Just Legacy. You don't have Basalt or Grid Monolith in Modern.
Oh yeah, I know Lurrus recently got banned in Modern, right?
Yeah,
fairly recently
at this point.
I didn't know. Good.
He's gone.
Thank God. But
we still have Yorion.
Well, yeah,
of course.
That's probably why Yorion.
And also
Twitter
the Kahira. I think some control decks used to play Kahira just because Solitude's is elemental. So why not?
Yeah,
it's free.
They still do.
Yeah, they still do. It's a free card in the sideboard. It's free.
Like the number of decks that play Gigantha right now. Gigantha is the number 2 most played companion, and it's just yeah, it's in Tron.
No, you're it's just Gigantha.
It's a big dummy. It's a big dummy.
It's just.
I mean, I guess if you've assembled Tron, you use 3 mana to put in your hand, and then you have 4 left over. So then add a green. That's the boy.
But
Tron's an easy one.
So for Tron,
Red,
are they
black,
not playing
sacrifice.
Endurance? Like Mono Green Tron, do they not play Endurance?
No, God no.
Mm.
They don't have enough green cards.
I mean, you're right.
The important thing here is we didn't see how good these cards would be. We all called them being relevant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ethan talking about Zerta being, like, calling that it was going to be really good. I didn't think Zerta was going to be that good, even though I am a Zerta simp, but...
Yeah, you are.
You try to force it in Commander decks. We can attest.
Yeah,
I respect him for it, too.
Fun fact. Brewing for the Battle of Baldur's Gate episode that we've already finished recording now. I had a Dinahare deck. I named that deck Jamming Zerta Where It Doesn't Belong.
I thought about building that deck until I looked and saw that Dinahare is really cool if they had more like cool effects that got 4 mana activated abilities.
Yeah. Unfortunately, not a great card. But like grabbing the receipts on talking about Companion, when Lurrus was spoiled, we all immediately saw like, oh, this card's really good. But I was probably the one talking about it the most, and I was dead set on making it main deck playable first and then moving it to the sideboard if needed. Because like I couldn't give up on things like Leyline of the Void.
Honey. Delver
Oh.
decks played it.
Sweetie, sugar,
Oh.
come on.
Honey.
Oh no. I will gladly admit I was wrong.
I mean, you can just say 3 words, banned in vintage. Did they
They
I
undid
mean,
it.
and okay,
They
I don't know if
unbanned
they
after the
undid
Companion
it.
Change.
Yeah,
they
it-
did.
Banned it, but it was
and-
banned at one point. That's still huge.
Yes.
Yes, and this is like, I think this is the only mechanic that has ever received a power level errata, right? Like the companion tax didn't exist initially. You just
No,
cast. The
you just
stupid
cast it
thing.
from exile. Like it was an 8th card in your hand. That's how it was.
Was
And-
dumb.
Yeah, and the reason why it got banned in Vintage was it was a power level ban. It's the first power level ban we've seen in a long time. The only other card I can really think of that received a power level errata relevant to this was Time Vault.
That was a little while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Time Vault, and it's like
Longer than I've
3
been
different
alive, I think.
erratas.
I love Time
Yeah.
Vault. It's such a
But-
it's just so bad card. Not bad,
Oh.
but like
I love it.
Oh,
so much.
it's real
Like-
dumb when you get a key.
Can we talk about the big one now?
All right.
Can we just talk about the big one?
Okay, sure. We'll talk about the big
I mean, if you want to, we can go over yours real quick. Real fast.
No. It's okay. Very quick one. Goldspan Dragon. A lot of people actually commented on this one, went to the spoilers thread on it. It was not particularly popular. People liked it, but they didn't think it was busted. I in particular had one friend who was like, this card's going to be, I said, this is going to be insanely good in standard, like defining. And they're like, it's not good. I would much rather have a Glorybringer. You know what? Fair. Glorybringer's real fucking good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Super good.
But it turns out the equivalent of a 3 mana 4/4 hasty flyer is also really good. Did we learn nothing from Teferi, Hero of Dominaria?
Did we also learn nothing from, hey, cheating mana costs are good with Arclight Phoenix?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, come on, guys. Cheaper things are better.
Goldspan's good. That's my last victory lap. Time for
I was
shame.
gonna say, may I start taking my victory
Come on, kid.
lap?
Okay.
Like,
All right. I'm going to go get some more water while Cameron gets his...
I get my
Cameron.
moment in the sun. The
Yeah,
last
stand on your
card we were
soapbox.
discussing is Oko, Thief of Crowns. Opinions on this card varied so much. There were people that were like, "This card is bad," and I think Ethan, were you on that? This card is bad, or were you
was
more
like,
middle
I don't-
ground?
I was like...
Leaning bad,
I-
middle ground, leaning bad. I think, and then it says
when
Jason
I first
has
saw
the
it, when I
receipts.
first commented on it, I did not know what food did because it doesn't say what food did. It's like,
No one did.
okay,
no one.
yeah. So I was kind of like, okay, I don't know what food does. So I'm gonna hold my opinion, but like, make it something like I didn't. It's a +1. I didn't think about it being a +1.
It's a +1.
Man.
It is 3 mana immediately out of bolt range. I guess I didn't think
Just-
about that for Ren and 6 either, so that's on me.
It's just
I think it helps that I
Why is that
thought about this
+1?
from my perspective as a Maverick player seeing this spoiled. I literally cannot play my deck with this card in play. And I'm just trying to find words. I mean, is it a stretch to call this the best Planeswalker ever?
No.
No.
Okay.
I don't think at all. I didn't realize the impact it had on Chalice of the Void. Like, when I saw this, I didn't think about, oh, wait, they can elk my chalices?
They can
turn
elk
off my
anything.
prison strategy? What?
Yep.
Yeah, no, as I said, opinions really went from, like, this card is bad, it's not going to see play anything, to middle ground, to where I was like, oh my god, this is awful for everything. Like, the one upside to this card is Black Lotus attacked for lethal in Vintage. That is the one upside.
That it did. That is the only love I will give Oko.
Card good.
It's hard to find people that enjoyed playing with or against this card. I mean, I don't know.
That
Like, I generally don't even think about the third ability. It's funny because looking at Jason's comments, that is the main thing he kind of references. Is like, it's kind of nice. You can steal a Goy for a Dreadhorde Arcanist, which was legal at the time. And having the beast with, quote, having the beast within effect is also pretty good, but I don't think there's that many artifacts or creatures we struggle to kill.
yeah.
Hindsight is very much 12.
Most of my context within this was thinking about how it relates to Lightning Bolt. Fair, right?
Right.
Like,
no, I get where you were coming from.
but it turns out it's just good. When Burn splashes 2 colors in Modern to play Oko.
I
Yep.
forgot
And
they
then,
did that.
Yeah.
I forgot they did
Hey,
that.
guys, remember when Legacy was Rug Delver with this and Rin and 6 in the same deck?
Yes.
This
I
Rin and
don't
6
want-
Dreadhorde Arcanist.
Mhm.
I'm trying to. Oh god. Why did we play against that?
Dude, remember when people were like
Monty-
trying to get pre-War of the Spark Legacy events like
Oh.
to start happening?
Oh,
Mhm.
I wanted to play Blue
Yeah.
White Stoneblade. I was a little baby then that thought that
I want to play
Stoneblade
Mono
was.
Green Cloud Post.
I like playing True Name Nemesis. That's not a card in Legacy anymore.
Which is still baffling, but
Okay, funny enough, one last thing on Legacy metagame as it currently exists. True Name does exist in the format a little bit right now.
Where?
Delvermere's.
Oh, so
God.
Legacy exists in a cycle where a Delver deck will become the best, and every Delver deck will just become that, and they will literally become so inbred that their sideboard is just dedicated to beating each other, and that's when the other decks can actually win.
Yeah, they're so dedicated to beating each other. Right now, the 2 big innovation, I use with big air quotes on this, is they're playing Mystic Sanctuary, which
Grindy.
what?
yeah, super grindy card. The whole point is to put an expressive iteration back on top of your deck.
Hey, speaking of cards we underevaluated, I did
Oh,
not
yeah,
think
that's
Expressive
a good
Iteration
one.
was going to be as good as it was.
Oh, I fucking
Yeah, I
called
didn't
that
either.
one, but
Good for hey,
Okay,
take
well,
her out of the
Good
lap.
for you, Jason. Good for you.
Thank you, thank you.
I didn't even think about expressive iteration. I thought we okay, it's fine, but I thought the mana cost would be too restrictive. But I forgot that Blue Red Delver just exists. Seems good, right? Like, didn't Delver at one point try to play of one mind from Ikoria at one point? Or
Yes.
there were some decks that were trying, yeah. And then they just printed a better version, literally the next year.
But, okay, the other big innovation, aside from doing the main deck Pyroblast, which they always do occasionally, is they're now playing Snapcaster Mage.
What?
Delver
the
deck.
fuck?
So
Delver's
that it's
playing
kind of similar to
Snapcaster.
what happened with Rug, is that Delver became a mid-range deck, and it
Yeah.
was able to do mid-range and be a tempo deck at the same time, and that is ridiculous. It needs to be one, not the best at both.
Hey guys, can I say it again?
Ban Days.
Please ban Days.
Days,
Please
yeah.
ban Days.
Days is what
That's all
lets
I
it
want
be a
for-
tempo deck.
That's what all I want
Yeah.
for Christmas, Watsy. I just want you to ban Days so Legacy can be a format I want to play again.
Yeah, there's... Legacy's in
Please.
a
Oko Broco.
weird spot.
God.
Alright. We've spoken a lot about cards that are specific to 60 card constructed. Let's,
$20.
keep at our heart of
We
Commander
are
here and
Commander
talk about a
players.
couple things that... How well did we call these 6 cards? Or 6. I can count. 4. Deflecting
That's
Swat,
indeed 4 cards.
Dockside Extortionist, Smothering Tithe, and Thassa's Oracle.
I would like
Are we
to
all
say,
just going to go down the list?
well, I was going to start with Deflecting SWAT. I was on the Deflecting SWAT train from the moment I saw it. Like, that's the main reason I bought the Calamax Precon. Also, I love Calamax. Like, it's a dumb commander. It's stupid. I'm probably going to rebuild it soon. I generally Fierce Guardianship is better, yes, but sometimes, like, in certain scenarios, obviously, Deflecting Swat is better. Against other counter spells, it is better. Against, it helps with spot removal, and, I mean, all the free cards are dumb, and we hate them.
Yeah.
Dockside I wasn't as high on, if we all want to get on that train.
I think in every single one of these cards, except for Thassa's Oracle, I was in the camp of this is good, not broken. I'm wrong?
Yeah.
The Oracle was the one I was in, this is broken. That's the right. Now, there's 3 wrongs versus 1 right here.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll
defend myself on Smothering Tithe, but...
Yeah. SWAT, I was like, it's a good card. I didn't think about the counterspell applications of it, but I just knew that a redirect for free was pretty good. Dockside, honestly, I didn't even think about Dockside until it was like $50. I was like, oh wait, this is a card people play.
And that's when we bought the pre-con.
When the $40
I bought
the pre-con for the card.
The $50 card
I was like, oh, this
in.
card's good. And then the card just keeps on getting better and better. Smothering Tithe, I knew it was just a good card, like, from the moment it got printed. And then Thassa's Oracle. Hey, win the game on ETB. Yeah, it's going to be pretty good. I knew it was going to be really good.
And with that, we're going to do a quick look at some Battle for Baldur's Gate previews. They're now out at this point, but yeah, now that we realize that we can't evaluate cards, let's evaluate some cards.
Yeah.
To give context of, we're fucking idiots, now listen to us talk about cards.
And normally, even when we talked about some of these other cards, we didn't have the strongest hard committed opinions, but for the sake of content and having a fun conversation and having some fun comments with y'all, by the way, please leave a comment, we're gonna get some hyperbolic statements in here.
Woo!
All right,
Do you want
Y'all ready for
my
this?
honest opinion of the... No, can I start with hyperbolic statements real quick?
hell yeah.
Worst fucking set ever. They didn't reprint Stinky Study.
God, get out of here.
I'm back, baby. Woo!
But before we get into those individual cards, very quickly, how do you feel about the set overall, though? Like, I think it's pretty good. I like the individual power. I like the set a little bit more than the other Commander Legends.
Ethan is just now seeing the set.
I'll be
Ethan's
honest
learning.
here. I stayed away from previews for my mental health because the cycle of just previews every other day was just draining me. So the occasional previews I saw in our Smooth Brain Discord, which, hey everybody, please join our Discord, as we linked in the description. We'd love to talk to you there. So I was seeing some spoilers through there, but I didn't really see everything. So like some of the new cards are like, okay, that's really cool, and some of these are like, why is this printed?
So,
Like one card I need to add to this list is like Earthquake Dragon. Well, is Earthquake Dragon on this list? I don't think we put Earthquake Dragon on here. We need to add that card.
Earthquake,
I have
or something
to say.
along those lines.
Earthquake Dragon.
I mean,
It's a 15 mana dragon that gets cheaper with more dragons in play.
Yeah. TLDR, I don't like it. It seems dumb. But I saw that literally 10 minutes ago. And like I'm going to this really blind here.
overall,
So it's good, I guess. It's a Magic set. It can't be that bad, right? Hopefully.
I really like the set because I'm a D&D nerd, so it's still within the realm of fantasy to where I can like suspend my disbelief. Once we start getting some crazy stuff that are Magic legal, it's gonna be a little harder. But I really like the power level of this set. I'm gonna be 100% honest. We had been getting some really, really overpowered like sets for our even Commander Legends 1 was really good and added a lot of like what is it called? A Hull Breaker, right?
Hull Breacher?
Yeah. The Hull Breacher. Yeah, cards like Hull Breacher, Oppo Agent, like we got several of those kinds of cards that are
Jessica's
like you
Will.
just see a lot of play. Yes, Jessica's Will, that whole cycle. I can't really think of anything in this set that's on that power level. There are some really good cards, don't get me wrong, we'll get to later. But the power level overall, especially like as we said, we recorded yesterday for this set, and it felt really nice to have like, hey, all of these commanders are playable. There isn't like a de facto like, hey, this is the best one that we need to get footage of. Everything played and was really fun. My parenthetical statement is here. It needed a Dockside reprint because we need Dockside reprint. But I said I'd rather them just ban it. If they're not going to reprint it, just ban it.
And with that, let's get to some hot takes. Let's start with Ethan. Dragons.
Ancient dragons are mid. The
Yes.
rolling d20 is cool, but it's really consistent. Like if you're trying to have fun, dude, go for it. Love it. If you're trying to win, that's my opinion.
The goal of Commander is not to win.
Well, yes, but no. Well, yes, but actually no, right?
My goal is to do cool stuff once, and this falls into that category.
Yes. See, the issue is we're also trying to make content, and all of us secretly want to win on the channel, and so that makes it much harder to have that good mindset of we're just here to have a good time. The struggles of content creation. These dragons are pretty mid. They're cool. I like what they're doing here. But
May I give an example?
Yes.
It's not. This comes out after our A set release video. Well, I don't know which one. There were some shenanigans with the copper one is the red one, right?
Yes, the treasure maker.
There was some shenanigans with that. I don't know what order that the videos are going to come out in, so I'm not going to say. I may tell y'all after, but it was really cool seeing it go off, but they kind of do seem win more. They're like 8 mana, so what are some other things you could be doing for 8 mana that are just better? A lot of things. Nexus of Fate.
A lot.
Yeah, they're really cool, though. I just like big Dargans.
Yes, you do.
I wish they had haste.
Yeah, it's very true.
All right. Let's get one more from Ethan here real quick.
We just remind at the top, apparently. Font of Magic. Let me read this card again, because I read it earlier. I was like, oh, that's cool. So, is this good?
No.
Is it fun?
Yes.
Thank you, Cameron.
So,
very cool.
We were brewing my deck, and Jason suggested it, and I was like, would I play this or Jace's Sanctum? And I'd probably play Jace's Sanctum before this.
But Cameron,
yes.
You could play both.
In the right deck, sure. Like, this in, like, a partner's... Like, if you could do a partner's Spellslinging Rograk deck... so you could cast your commander multiple times, like, and sack it, and, like, cast... Because you can cast both sides of your partners.
You want to be Rograk.
You would be Mr. Rogers, right?
Yeah, it's Silas Wren, and then, like, that doesn't really help out too much.
You could just be blue-red. You could do, like, Malcolm. You could do
Malcolm
Rograk.
You know what? That sounds dope. I'm a big Malcolm stan, man. I'm a Malcolm stan all the way.
All right.
But yeah, it's fun, for sure. I love cards like that. Like Storm King's Thunder, which is the next one that Jason has on here, I think. I didn't comment on it. I love the card. It's so dumb. Is it good, Jason?
Jason, what does it do?
No, it's actually bad. Like,
But is it
legitimately,
fun?
it is a bad card.
What does it do?
But is it fun, Jason?
So it's triple red and X. The next instant or sorcery spell you cast, copy it X times.
I'm playing that in
Come
Calamax. I'm playing that in Calamax.
Yeah, come
sure.
on.
And,
Like,
like,
There's a home for it.
like, come on.
Yeah.
I
Sure.
It's bad.
My heart's. I love it. I love it.
It is such a win more card. It is like my textbook definition of win more.
But Jason, I want to cast 18
Jason,
lightning bolts.
I want to bolt
In
someone
Calamax.
to death. With
Okay.
Jason, I want to copy expropriate 27 times. How else am I going to do that?
I don't know. Just cast the expropriate
I think-
once and still win.
Yeah.
You're right. But moving on.
Cameron, let's get one from you here.
Oh, me. I'll do my first one. Black Market Connections is a 2 and a black enchantment that you can choose one or more at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase. You can pay 1 life and make a treasure token. You can pay 2 and draw a card, or pay 3 and make a 2/2 changeling, or 3/2 changeling.
Yeah, 3/2 changeling.
Okay. This is better Phyrexian Arena. I think we, in our overhyped cards, our overplayed cards, Phyrexian Arena, we had that episode, right? Cards that we think are bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Phyrexian Arena is like one of the top ones on that list for me. I know people love it. I would rather play Night's Whisper and just get for less mana and get the cards now. This is a good Phyrexian Arena because, unbeknownst to me until yesterday, you can pick multiple of these effects.
Correct.
Yes.
So 3 life draw card ramp. I mean, in the correct deck, like if you're playing a black-white life gain deck or something, this card is absurd. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. All right. All of us have some opinions on some background commanders. So I'm going to start it off. Karlach, Fury of Avernus, is the best background commander.
Yes.
Okay, let me read this card. I have no clue what this card. Okay, It was right there.
Abdel is
holy
alt,
shit.
You'll get there.
Wait, holy shit.
Yes. It doesn't even have to be the one to attack.
Oh, that's the best part about it. It's a tiefling, guys.
Mm-hmm. And a barbarian.
And a barbarian.
Oh my god! And a
Not a warrior.
5/4 for 5.
It does not care if it itself does not have to attack. If I recall correctly.
No,
it does
it's
not.
whenever you attack.
Yeah.
Holy.
And
There's
first
so
strike.
many cards in the set.
Give
Yeah,
the first strike.
That is the best one.
It
It gets
pairs-
first strike. God.
Yeah.
It has good backgrounds to pair with it in every single color combination. Like if you want white, there's multiple good white ones, but the double strike one in particular is very interesting with this commander.
You can do the green. Commanders have base power 10/10.
That's a cute one, yeah.
That one's fun.
Oh, the giant one, so you get red green.
Yeah, just want to bash for 20? Go. Like,
I mean, it's not 21, but
it is not 21. That is very important. And like, don't get me wrong. Of course, there are some excellent background commanders. Like Abdel Adrian is really good. Gale is very good.
Yep.
Volo is quite good, and I view them as cut above the rest. Right. And the ones in the precons are also almost equally good.
I think Abdel is close to Karlach, no, because you can do World Gorger loops with it. And Ethan, do you not know this card?
Keep up. I'm trying to keep up.
This
Yours
card
the
is
same
4 and a
name,
white.
I have no clue what's going on.
So there is a really good black-white pairing with this card. There is the white Abdel Adrian that when it enters the battlefield, exile any number of non-land permanents you control and make that many 1/1s.
Okay, I'm trying to find this card on the Goldfish spoilers.
You can do a cool deck with this. It's an uncommon.
Okay, that's why I haven't seen it yet.
And there's also a background, I don't remember the name, but that lets you, whenever a creature dies, a target opponent loses 1 life. Target artifact or creature dies.
Agent of the Throne.
Yeah,
Yes.
the Iron Throne.
Agent of the Iron
So
Throne.
it's black-white, yeah.
So if you can get this from your command zone into your graveyard... wait, no. You just need this on the battlefield with a World Gorger and Animate Dead in your hand. Right?
Well, if you have this, you can't have World Gorger in your deck, so you do need to get it into your graveyard. That's why
this
Abdel
replaces the World Gorger.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, Abdel Adrian's pretty good, but it's only really good in that specific context. Gale is just generally powerful. Volo's generally powerful.
Yeah.
And, there's a lot of good ones. Like, these background commanders are actually surprisingly good. That's part of the reason why I like them more than I like the previous Commander Legend set, because I don't like the partners nearly as much as I like these guys.
Yeah, there's only a couple of good, monocolor partners.
Yeah. And still, though, you're not going to build too many of these. They're solid. Shout out to my boy Wilson, Refined Grizzly.
The bear.
Where's this card?
It's a bear with keywords.
Is he uncommon?
Yes.
Where's he at?
Uncommon, yeah.
The ones we are going to be talking, because I have a partner commander that I also enjoyed. I actually built it for the channel. It was Livaan.
That's adorable.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my god, I love that.
I'd like to give a shout out to Livaan. I had a really fun time building and playing that deck. If you like Kiln Fiend in the command zone, is Kill Fiend non-creature or instant and sorcery?
Instant sorcery.
Yeah, so Livaan is specifically non-creature. So if you could, I played I know we bitched about Thran Dynamo as a magic card in commander decks. I played Thran Dynamo in this deck and was very happy with it.
Yeah, Livaan,
Dynamo's underappreciated. Don't at me.
Yeah, so okay, Livaan just being a 3-mana dragon that gets bigger every time you cast non-creature spells, kind of like Prowess, but it scales up with mana value. Means ramping is really important in the deck, and the artifacts you play to ramp will contribute to that power. So you can get these really cool big storm turns just by ramp, kill you.
Yes, that was the plan. And I really liked a lot of these. There was only a couple that I don't like I wish that there was one that actually took the initiative instead of just if you have the initiative.
Not enough initiative support, weirdly enough.
No.
But
back to the cards.
Your background commander, Gale.
So I saw this card just going through the spoilers, and I said, "Holy shit, this exists!"
It's cool. It's very cool.
Oh my god! Come on, guys! Cast instant sorcery from my hand, get cast to one of the other type from your graveyard.
Yes.
You still have to pay the mana cost, but
you don't care.
Come on! You could just cast an instant from your hand to cast a sorcery from your graveyard. And then you cast Sword from your hand to cast the one instant you cast earlier. If you're playing High Tide, like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
If you're playing Rituals, come on. It's easy. And also, if you're playing CDH, there's probably some Thoracle shenanigans you can do here.
Absolutely. It pairs very well with Demonic Consultation.
Yeah, Demonic Consultation, Tainted Pact, you could essentially cast those, cast another spell, and then you could just recast if you're like going for the Thoracle.
Does it exile the one you cast from the graveyard or no?
Yes.
Okay.
It does.
Okay, relevant. This card's very good.
It makes it not stupidly busted.
Scion of Halaster, I think is what it is probably the best pairing.
Scion of Halaster is... Scion of Halaster, 2 mana background. It makes it so the first card you draw each turn, instead of drawing a card, you look at the top 2 cards, put one into your graveyard, and you draw the other card. Really good to just fuel out the graveyard, and it works very well with your instant speed cantrips that you want to include in the deck. So, yeah, there's just a lot of good power that goes in with Gale. Alright. Now that we've covered those ones, alright.
Hot takes.
Let's get controversial.
Hot takes.
I'm going to talk about 2 cards people are obsessed with right now. Archivist of Ogma and Deep Gnome Terramancer.
Good cards.
Both of them are good. They are way overhyped. Archivist is good, and I'm going to play it, for sure. Like, in my CDH decks, and my decks where I know I'm going to be up against a lot of searching, absolutely. Archivist is just good card draw. You'll draw 3 cards relatively easy with this. People will still try to combo through it.
Yes.
So,
I think it's a perfect card for white. Like, it's still taxing, kind of. Like, you giving you the card advantage. The life gain, we talked about how life gain is relevant, so it's a nice little add-on. Because I know some people read the card and thought it stopped. Like, they stopped reading after the game. You gain a life. And they're like, oh, this card's trash. But no, the card is very good, and it scale, the higher level you are, it's better. But if you're playing it super casual, it's not that good.
Yeah, you don't see... Like, of course, people search for lands, and this is part of the reason why people think both these cards are particularly good is playing against Green Ramp. You're going to see a decent amount of it, but that's not the end-all be-all, guys. No. And Deep Gnome Terramancer in particular I want to talk about because it's good. It's similar to Keeper of the Accord for me, though. It's better than Keeper of the Accord because it's going to accelerate you with way more consistency. But at the same time, like, it's only getting planes, so it's not very good in your 3+ color decks. And yes, I know you can get duels with this. And of course, I'm going to try it even at the CDH level. I'm going to put this into a Thracios and Tymna mid-range list. I do not think this is an auto-include card.
Absolutely not. And if you're in green, you just play better ramp.
I will concur with that. But for the decks, the color pairings that need this,
yes, holy shit,
this is great.
For the color pairings,
I'd be able higher on it. But yes, for the color pairings that need it, like if you're doing like an Azorius deck, like, oh my god, you just play this.
Mono white
reactive spells.
I mean, obviously,
mono white especially.
Both of these in mono white and black white. I really like this in a black white deck.
I mean, any two color deck that's white and not green, like, is going to play it. 3 color, I could start seeing, like, why would you play this? Like, maybe like an Esper deck, I could see it. Or like a Jeskai deck.
This card is funny to me in that how it scales is different. Like, in the lower power levels, you're probably more likely to see the rampant growth effects. I mean, like, rampant growth, cultivate, Kodama's Reach. You're not going to see the fetch lands. But as you go up, you're going to start seeing the fetch lands that are going to let you get the added effect off of this. It probably gets better the higher you get because more fetch lands, and people still will play things like Nature's Lore and 3 Visits, and I mean, even like against a Thrasios deck. I mean, if they're activating Thrasios and flipping into a land on their turn, or if they're just doing multiple Thrasios, this still counts for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Land enters the battlefield and it wasn't played.
Yeah, so I do.
Thrasios putting into play is not playing it.
I do believe that Archivist of Ogma is better. And more universal. Like, you're going to see it in a lot more decks.
Yeah, that's my take on it. You know what? We're talking about white cards right now. Cameron, give me your 2 white cards.
All right, white getting some love this set. Battle Angels of Tyr is a very cool card. I forget. So it's a weird myriad card, and like the way it works is if it hits someone, if they have more cards than you, you draw a card. If they have more lands than you, you make a treasure. And if they have more life than you, you gain 3 life. And I think this is a really cool example of the white catch-up mechanic that they try to implement. with things like Knight of the White Orchid, which is another good card, or Legion, the dog. I forget its name. Loyal Legion? Loyal Warhound. The white catch. And I'm trying to think of times they've done this with card draw. Like having the opponent having more cards in hand. This is very similar to Keeper of the Accord for me. Very similar spot. I do like how Keeper of the Accord doesn't have to attack to trigger. It just literally triggers on everyone's end step. Every other player's end step. But this is really flashy and really cool. And I love it when they design things like this. And then my other white card is Legion Loyalty. I will read my description of this card. The Unga in me loves this card, but the Boonga knows it's too expensive to be reliable.
Yeah.
It's an 8-mana enchantment, so obviously it's going to have to be a really big, flashy effect. It gives all your creatures Myriad, is what it does. I don't know. I want to build... I'm probably going to end up building the Myriad commander, the Myriad Boros commander. For Boros, that one creature gets Myriad in first strike, right? I don't know. It just seems fun. I don't think it's good, but it's fun.
Yeah. All right, Ethan, you have one more card on here.
I actually just kind of stuck this in while we were talking because I was going through the spoiler and I remembered I had put it on. Jan Jansen, Chaos Crafter. I love my little gnome boy. I might build this guy now.
Oh, he's a gnome?
I've been like really... Yeah.
Nice.
So Cameron knows, like, my last D&D character I've played, over the past few years was a gnome artificer. And so this reminds me a lot of that. It's just essentially my character was a little bit more mad from the art I'm seeing. And like, so I like that a lot. But I love artifact like sacrifice shenanigans, but like it's always blue and it's always the same. So like having that supported by the commander and not in blue, oh boy.
Yeah, it's
It's
blueless
I might actually have to put this together. I mean, it's fixed, and also like it has haste. It is in 3 colors. This could be a Zerda deck if I really want to go spicy with it, but then I can't play Ichor Wellspring, Microsynth Wellspring, so I gotta balance that out because I love those bad cards. So this might be what I work on, like when I'm really bored at work, and don't tell my boss I'm saying this. When I'm really bored at work this week, I might run to brew this.
It feels really well balanced because sometimes they'll do this effect like it has to tap to do both effects, correct?
Yes, they're both tap effects.
So that
tap and sacrifice an artifact creature or a non-creature artifact.
Otherwise, this could probably go infinite, like super easy. I.e. Brea.
But I mean, like you can still do like Strionic Resonator, Rings of Bright Earth.
There's some really fun stuff you can do with this deck.
Oh yeah, I mean,
do you play?
There's a lot of cool stuff.
You could play the untapping Elixir of
Immortality.
No,
1,000-year Elixir.
1,000-year Elixir. Yeah, untap.
1,000-year Elixir.
Some cute stuff.
What's the one? There's a lot of cool stuff. Like, I'm so happy about this card. This is side tangent. These are cards that I see in these commander sets that are like, oh my god, they're getting it right. When I see stuff like this, that is a card that makes me genuinely want to build something. It is something that's tangential to what they've had in the past, but in such a new way that feels refreshing. That like I look at this, I'm like, there's so many possibilities, but like it doesn't feel broken. It's not like I'm shoehorned into playing, Thoracle strategies like with Gale. I'm like worried that would just be okay. Now I'm doing this. This feels new, refreshing, but also like home to me.
Have they done a Mardu Artifacts Commander ever?
Not really.
No. You could do like Timna Akiri, I guess partners.
Yeah, like there's not like they're partners, but like what artifact commanders do you have in Mardu? Like they have enchantments. They need Mardu enchants for the Mardu artifacts.
That
like
is
what
strange.
the fuck?
That is strange.
But I'm glad they made Gin. because that was also a really cool thing. That was like, okay, that's refreshing. But this, oh boy, my little gnome buddy. Woo! Hopefully you guys see him on the channel here soon because I'm pumped about this guy.
I'm glad you found it.
Me too, man. Thanks for having me back on the podcast. The thing I started. I'm so glad to be back, boys. Woo!
All right. We have one more card to talk about, and then I've got a question for you all.
Oh, God. You're asking me questions now? Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
One more card.
All right, Cameron.
Oh.
Tell us about the cat.
Oh, it displays your kitten. How to go infinite without knowing you could. I mean, I will reference Play to Win. I will give them credit. That is, I think, the first place I saw it. And they said, yeah, we know it's broken. Someone else figure it out. I think that's what they said. Gist of what they said.
That is almost exactly what they said.
The card reads, it's 3 and a blue for a kitten. That whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may blink one non-land permanent you control, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how do we break it?
I don't know.
Okay, someone will figure it out.
Above my pay grade.
I mean, like,
Above my
okay,
pay grade.
if you want my best answer is you play either Vincer or Baron in your deck, and you are just flickering a mana rock.
Good.
Baron actually might be the better one.
Yeah,
Baron.
Probably. My first thought would be Archaeomancer and Get Probe. And so it's a really, really inefficient Yogg's Bargain. But it's still Yogg's Bargain in a bad sense. Like, 2 life to draw a card is still not bad. And it's also mono blue, so like you could play that in a lot of different decks. If you also do some Soul Stitcher in a blue-white deck, a blue-white blink deck, you could potentially do that, where then you have an infinite loop of, like, if you have Soul Stitcher effects out, you could gain the life back and destroy your deck. Yep. I could see that being something you can do.
Oh, could you loop this with, like, Felidar Guardian? I'm trying to think. There's probably a way to do it with Felidar Guardian, isn't there?
It needs to return to hand if you want to do it.
So, yeah, you would be right. Archaeomancer.
That's why Archaeomancer was a good one. That's why I said Baron, because Baron will bounce the 0 mana artifact that you're playing to trigger this, right?
That's infinite mana, too.
Right. The issue is, though, you still need 2 of them in play, because when you cast the first one, you flicker Baron on the trigger, and then it's going to come down and return the other artifact to your hand. So, still not perfect, but you draw a card.
Yeah, I do. There are a way. This card is just waiting to be broken, and it probably won't take long.
Yeah. No. I bet you somebody's going to do something with Tameshi or something to figure it out, but...
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Tameshi.
And the question I have.
Okay.
What's the best background?
I don't know how to answer that question because I haven't seen them all. And
cool. You're answering it first.
What the fuck? Jesus. What's the first one I want to see on Goldfish? Scrolling down, not stalling for time. Noble Heritage obviously is the best one because it.
Of course.
You can put counters on your opponent's creatures.
Yes,
it's the best. That's the worst one that I could put. Popular Entertainer does what now? Okay, that's
goading
things.
I believe.
We're not going into that. Raised by Giants is hilarious. I don't know, man. Like,
could I give my opinion?
Yes, please do. While I scramble.
The meme answer is Cultist of the Absolute. That plus that it makes your commander have 3/3 flying death touch lifelink. Keywords.
Keywords are on there, and
it's a 1 mana.
It's 1 mana.
It's 1 mana. You have to sack a creature on your upkeep. So yeah.
Hey, okay, that's.
I actually do like it in like an aristocrats deck, like the guaranteed sacrifice. Like I know I said meme, but it's actually pretty good.
Criminal Pest is pretty cool.
And then I do think that Scion of Hallister is overall probably one of the best. It's the first card you draw on each turn, correct?
Yeah, each turn.
So I mean, in any kind of Reanimator strategy or a Spellslinger strategy, you're getting 1 in hand, 1 in the graveyard. So in the Spellslinger, like with Gale, you're seeing more cards, and you want cards in the graveyard for their ability. And if you wanted to do some Reanimator deck, obviously pitching stuff to the graveyard. And I also said Folk Hero is very good. White card draw for that cheap. Consistent card draw. It's really nice to see.
Okay, small aside, I'm reading the spoilers more. Durnan of the Yawning Portal? What the fuck?
I don't remember that one.
We didn't mention this card? Giving creatures from like you're finding out your deck Undaunted?
Yeah, that's a good one.
What? Why do we not? You guys didn't mention this one?
Oh, that's the alternate commander for the green-red exile commander deck.
Mm-hmm.
What the? And also like Clancrafter? I missed that? That's dope. There's so many cool things in this set.
Yes.
Holy shit.
This is a really cool set.
Hero. Wait, Folk Hero? Okay, Folk Hero is the best.
Yeah.
Folk Hero is just free card draw. Folk Hero is the. How'd I miss that? You just play that in decks even if you're not playing in background, right?
Damn you, Ethan! You ruined my bit.
I'm sorry. I wasn't reading the script. I was just going down like you actually.
Let Jason.
I had a bit for this.
Rewind. Jason, do your bit.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh yeah, there's a lot of really good backgrounds. It's really contextual to what. Also, it's folk hero.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I mean, of the. While we recover, can we agree most of the backgrounds probably don't see play outside of being a background? That is where their strength lies. Whereas Folk Hero is the one that is like, yeah, you can play it in the 99 and it'd still be very good.
So
I don't have enough background. I don't have enough background on the subject to tell you otherwise.
Yeah, Folk Hero is my default go-to. It's not necessarily strictly the most powerful. It is definitely one of the most powerful. But it's not strictly the most powerful. The reason why I like Folk Hero the most is because people love their tribal decks. There's a lot of good tribal options. Like, notably, there's a lot of creatures in the set that have 3 creature types. So, if you want to play Black-White Clerics, you have a new option. You want to play Green-White Elves, you have a new option. So, Folk Hero just fits into more decks.
I believe this is the Black-White Party alternate pairing, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
it is.
Okay, cool.
Worth noting, you do also now have Black-White Orcs, if that's your thing. You know, go for it.
It's an orc, it's a cleric, it's a rogue, it's a warrior, and a wizard.
Yes.
So he's fucking weird, dude.
Yeah, it's the alternate commander for the Black-White. This isn't in the creature text. The only thing on the line is that it's an orc, but the first line of text, it's a cleric, rogue, warrior, and wizard. Because it cares about party.
So it's all the things in a party. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's the party leader. And with that covers this episode, which has gotten much longer than expected.
I like to before we go, I like to apologize to Jason for ruining his bit. I'm sorry, buddy.
Thank y'all once again for listening to another episode of the Wrinkly Brain Podcast. Once again, we're sorry we didn't have our special guest. We're working on it. We'll see if we can do that another time. We really appreciate y'all hanging out, listening to us, and our terrible, terrible takes on so many cards, past and current.
You're welcome.
Remember to jump on our Discord. We play Commander with anyone who's on there, so just come and hang out with us. Give us a like, follow, comment, subscribe, do all that normal YouTube outro stuff. Hit up the social media. One last big announcement we need to make about this is this episode and probably the next one are going to be the last 2 episodes that are on this channel. We will be moving the Wrinkly Brain podcast over to its own channel along with other long-form content that we're doing. We're mainly doing this just as a little bit of YouTube algorithm optimization. So, when we have that all set up, we'll announce that in the next episode for you guys to go and follow that one. Please be sure to go and follow it if you want to keep up with the Wrinkly Brain podcast. We really appreciate it, and we love having you guys here. I've been Jason with Cameron and Ethan. Thank you all very much. We'll see you next time.